6:17 left to go in the third. They finally have shown us some offense, Rich. And I don't know if I agree with that call so much, but I am glad that they got on the scoreboard. I think we're going to see a different look now from both squads.
So with 6:17 remaining here in the third period of play, Bassett finally getting on the board on a 1-yard plunge by Mike Ramos. 20-6 to score now, as the extra point, of course, batted away by Cabrera. And again, Cabrera, an interception on the night, a couple of big key passes, a 57-yard touchdown reception. Definitely shining, and we still have some 18 minutes of ball to play. Who knows what he'll do in the next 18 minutes.
Right, and I wouldn't be surprised, Rich, to see Coach Whaley try another onside kick. He tried it to open up the beginning of the second half, pardon me, and it was, of course, handled rather well by the Norwalk squad. There you see some boosters for Norwalk yelling and screaming up there. They're having a good time. It's a good ball game, even though it was a little bit lopsided at one point. It was still exciting. You got to admit, you're seeing a lot of at least fan-type football. The ball up in the air quite a bit.
Everybody loves the home run ball, and Norwalk scored on it once today.
Bassett goes for it every other play, so it's sure been exciting in its own right.
So now, again, we have number 22 to tee it up. That's Mike Andrade. And Andrade waiting for the officials to say, okay, go for it. Dae-Ho Song and Stafford are deep, but it's going to be picked up by number 34, David Thomas. And Thomas, only a sophomore, getting his feet wet. And welcome to football there, David.
Andrew Echeverria, number 14, only a freshman. He's in there on the tackle. So they're going to look like they're going to start play at around the 23-yard line.
Six minutes to go in the third period of play. Norwalk now can't rest. Or you rather say they want to sit on this lead. Might want to get another score on the board before you start putting in the reserve. Dae-Ho Song gets nailed as he crosses the 25-yard line out to the 26. Nice hit on there. Again, number 54, Vince Mendez, making the stop.
Vince Mendez looking tough out there that time. He's just roving around from his linebacker position. He's in what Coach Whaley likes to call his split six. Everybody's up. They're reading the ball. They're coming up at the snap. He feels that it gives him that extra beat, that extra moment to go ahead and make the play. Well, at least he read it right that time, and a pretty good stick on the play.
So Stafford down in the backfield as Dae-Ho Song takes a breather. And Jackson still in the backfield for the Lancers. Play action fake, and I don't think Franco's seen this. Picking up the ball. That's Eric Averett, and Averett is brought down from behind. Again, our check had a touchdown-saving tackle by Stafford, number 20. Let's look at that one again.
Oh, we'll definitely see this one again. It looks like number 21, Robert Noriega, comes in on a blitz from the right side. The quarterback never sees him. Quarterback nightmare there, who he's blindsided. And then you see the ball picked up and scooted down to around the 4-yard line, and all of a sudden Bassett has come alive, and it is right again threatening to score.
This all ties in what we were talking about earlier. Norwalk definitely has to get another score on the board to put this game on ice, and no sooner do we say that does Bassett come up with a big play defensively. First and goal for Bassett. They give it to Ramos, and Ramos is stopped alertly. He's tackled by number 64. That's Freddie Jimenez, and Jimenez making a big tackle.
Almost a little misdirection play that time as they hand the ball off to Ramos, as the quarterback kept the ball on his hips trying to fake out some of the defensive squad. They weren't faked out too much, though. It's going to bring up a second down and still short yardage for the touchdown.
So again, they may go to Ramos on the dive play, and Ramos the lone step back. Then Guiatera, of course, wide to the right, and Vera wants to go for him. You know, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Danny Cabrera has been so hot the whole ball game, and it doesn't look like he's going to slow down any. Yes, they're going to try to risk their number one receiver trying to beat Cabrera, but I don't think it can be done.
Well, you're going with your strength against strength. For the offense, you're going to Sammy Mangiatera. He's the star, the wide receiver. So, of course, they're going to put the defensive star on Danny Cabrera on him, and you're going to see that matchup all night long. And on that one, it was just an errantly thrown pass by Vera, though he really had nowhere to go.
So, third down and goal at the 7-yard line. 4 minutes, 13 seconds left. Big play. They give it to Ramos, the first man through, and Ramos gets back to the original line of scrimmage, which is probably about the 5-yard line. bring up a big fourth down play. What do you call on this, Andy?
Oh, you've got, let's see, you're down by 14 points, 3 minutes to go. I think in this situation, what you do is you fake the ball into the line, drop back play action, and try to hit one of your wing backs. Of course, Bassett has 2 of them, crossing over the middle on a slant pattern or something. I think you keep it away from the outside because of the potential firepower of course, Danny Cabrera, who's been all over the field tonight.
And there's Mengiatera and Cabrera. We'll try to isolate that for you. Wide to the right. Richardson, the give us of Richardson, would you believe it? Look, Jimenez got back there so fast and knocked Edward Berra into Richardson as he handed off. Big play, credit the big play to Freddie Jimenez.
Freddie Jimenez, and we're going to get to see this again. What a job he is doing at his nose guard position.
A junior.
He is a junior, only 5'6", 175. Watch the penetration here. He says hello to the quarterback and tackles 2 men at the same time. You think he's not a happy young man? Look at him there bouncing around.
No pun intended. Andy Cordan, Richard Estrella with 3 minutes and 26 seconds left here in the third quarter of play. Norwalk with the ball. Transcoso sets the offense. Cabrera wide to the left. To give us the second man through the hole. That's Ho Song. And Ho Song brought down with an assist there. Eric Valdez making the stop.
Once again, running behind the offensive line strength of Randy Bunt and Alex Moran on the right side. They are really making it a very easy decision process for Ho Song, 5'8", 145-pound junior. He just runs behind a gaping hole and picks up pretty good yardage that time.
So call it second down, 7. Second and 7 with 2:55 left in the third period of play. And that was a big defensive play for Norwalk. Very, very big. Jimenez making the dual tackle, shall we say. Stafford now crossing the 20-yard line out to about the 21. He'll be shy of a first down.
Raul Ocampo that time comes in from the stop. Stafford, pretty good little scat back, twisting and turning, trying to fight for that extra yardage. Here you see him. He's always going to keep those legs pumping and driving, and that's how the good backs are taught, to always try to pick up that extra yard.
So 2:18, 2:17 to go here in the third period of play. Troncoso trying to move his Lancers downfield on 3rd and 2, and now you're going to have an illegal procedure call, and Troncoso is visibly upset with that. I don't know if he changed the snap count or what, but they're saying, okay, no problem, we'll get it right.
And then again, why not? Robert Noriega decides to pick up the football and prance into the end zone just in case the 15 flags on the field don't count.
Oh my. 1:52 to go in this one. They're going to mark off 5 yards against the Lancers. So instead of a 3rd and 2, they're going to have a 3rd down and 7.
Once again,
unless Bassett should decline, which of course would be foolish. And they're not going to do it. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down, 7.
Look at the quick pass over the middle. The man to watch, Danny Cabrera, the wide receiver on the right side, number 30. He's at the bottom of your screen. He's going to slant over the middle if I was coaching the team.
Funny you should mention that. There was a lot of coaching changes in this area. Santa Fe got a new head coach this year, John Bland. Of course, Norwalk with Mr. Phil Bella at the reins now. Downey had a new, check that, Warren of Downey. Got a new head coach this year in Port Harbor.
They're going deep.
Troncoso, let's go on. There's Cabrera again. He has the ball, and he had to slow down for it. But maybe it's good. He has a lot of people in pursuit, and that one is good. We're going to count that out. About 58 yards.
Mike Andrade that time was burned at his quarterback position. You're going to see once again Danny Cabrera. There's the pump fake, and the defensive back went for that, and much, much more. Cabrera just drifting down the sideline. He has to wait for that pass again, but still the pass on the money as Troncoso finding his man, picking up big yardage that time, 50-plus yards through the air. Once again, the home run ball paying off for Norwalk.
Credit him with about a 57-yard gain once again. They can throw the home run ball as good as anybody, it appears, this season. The pitch to Stafford. Stafford trying the left side. Throws a block by Jackson. And Stafford finally being brought down inside the 20-yard line. But again, the block by the fullback, Larry Jackson, made that play possible.
And you can see absolutely elated Derek Stafford there running across your screen. 12-yard pickup on the play and a first down and a momentum keeper. They are really on the move now. And he used all of the left side of the line. Their strength, Al Herrera, Robert Spencer, and even the wide receiver out there, Eddie Molino, or at least he was a tight end on that one. And they're looking very strong in this drive.
And Norwalk moving the ball. Seems like they got their concentration back after turning the ball over when Troncoso was hammered and lost the ball down at the 4-yard line. Troncoso looking again, fakes the pass, and he has to eat this one. No, he gets out of the grass, he throws it. Nobody there, out of bounds, and we see any flags. That's a judgment call, and they're not going to throw one. Looks like Bassett was looking for a grounding call.
Robert Noriega, defensive end, 5'10", 175 junior. He was all over Troncoso that time. Had him by the ankle. I thought they were going to call it dead right there. He escaped, moved back, but it looks like he had to throw it out of bounds. It'll bring up a second down situation.
And again, Troncoso playing behind Steve Locke last year, showing a lot of poise and a lot of smarts. He got rid of the ball. He knew he was in trouble, and he just threw it away. And that's what a lot of quarterbacks won't do. They'll try to thread the needle and get that big play and turn it over. So second down and 10 with 42 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play. The pitch is to Stafford. Stafford down inside the 20 again, gets back, maybe picking up about 2 yards. We'll call it third down and 8.
For the tackle, you had Vince Mendez and number 17, Kenny Pornuelis, and they came up pretty nice pursuit that time, but still, you're watching the little scat back, Derek Stafford. He's getting good yardage every time he touches the ball on this drive.
So again, they're going to credit him with about 3 yards, so we're going to call it third down and 7. Troncoso looking, giving the ball to De Ho-Song, the second man through, and Ho-Song crosses the 20-yard line down to about the 18. And as you hear the gun in the background, that will end the third period of play with the score here from Excelsior High Stadium. Norwalk 20, Bassett 6. Stay with us. See a field goal attempt. And the ball spotted at the, should be a 35-yard, 36-yard attempt now for John Onofre. Should be a chip shot for him. The ball has got plenty of distance. It's no good, but it had plenty of distance. I think it would have been good from 50 yards, Andy, easily.
He had the leg in it, he just didn't have the accuracy. We were watching him out here earlier on, and he was really boosting the ball, and pretty consistently from that range, he just got a hook on it and pushed it to the left.
Let's have a look at his graphic, if we will. I'm going to take a look at Danny Cabrera's stats so far in the ball game of Norwalk, and what a show he's put on offensively and defensively as well. Cabrera, some 6 receptions for 197 yards tonight. That is incredible. Number 30, Danny Cabrera, 6 receptions for about 197 yards. Excellent display, not to mention an interception. So first down and 10 now for Bassett, and they'll have the ball at their own 20-yard line with 11:53 left in the ball game. Ed Vera looking under a heavy rush, gets away, looking for some blockers, throws downfield, and the ball is incomplete. And now we have a flag in the backfield, and it was thrown kind of late.
Then the receiver was Sammy Mengiatera that time, number 23. Looks like Bassett once again going back to the home run ball, though you did see the quarterback scrambling around, creating more time for himself, of course, Edgar Vera. And the flag on the field, we're going to try to discern what that is right now.
Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay and see if we can see any kind of infraction. Okay, we're not going to be able to see that, but what are they calling? They haven't yet to signal. It's only a 5-yard infraction. What's worth 5 yards once the ball's in play, Andy? Not much.
There was a late thrown flag. I would have thought it was encroachment from where they had thrown it, but they threw it just a little bit late, unless the referee had trouble pulling that out of his pocket. It looks like there's an illegal hit below the waist from the back, but after the play, maybe it was an incidental one and only 5 yards. It's hard to determine.
Yeah, if there's something flagrant, they'll definitely hit you with a personal foul, but if it's unintentional, they'll let it go if it has no bearing on the outcome of the play. Ed Vera now looking downfield again, tries to hit Richardson, and Richardson knocks it away cleanly, and he knocks it away from Earl Peacock, number 82.
David McCoy put all the pressure in the world on the quarterback, Edgar Vera, and watch him scramble. He is running for his life. He's going, oh my goodness, which way to go? He's like a chicken without his head, just throwing the ball up there, and in fact, the offensive man had to come back and play defensive man to prevent the interception.
How about this graphic for you? In the second half, Cabrera, 2 receptions, 115 yards.
Not a bad second half.
Boy, oh boy. Little less than 60 yards of reception.
He is fleet of foot, 175-pound senior. He could possibly bulk up a little bit. You never know what kind of potential a youngster like that could have in the maybe Division I, maybe Division II. It's hard to say.
You know, I'd like to drop a boom mic over the head of the officials and try to hear what they're saying. What is there to discuss at this point in the ballgame?
They look to me as if they think they have an instant replay official up here in the box with us, and they're conferring on every down. We all know that not to be the case. I don't know. Maybe they are working the bugs out themselves.
Still early in the season, 20-6 our score. The give goes to number 6. That's Richardson. Richardson gains very little on the play, maybe a yard. Matter of fact, he lost a yard.
Well, Bassett found that play earlier on in the game to be somewhat exciting and a good running play that worked for them, of course, running the wingback through on the quick handoff. But right now, it seems that they're spinning their wheels in the mud. They're not seeming to get anywhere with 3rd and 13 coming up with the clock still ticking away here in the 4th quarter.
3rd and 13 now. Big play for Bassett. They must get the first down. There's a flag going down already. And just the same, nice running there. And that's number 33, Mario Ephraim. Ephraim, 6 feet, 165, only a junior. I have a feeling that's going to come back, though.
Ephraim also a wingback at the right side. Mario Ephraim taking the handoff from his quarterback, Vera, running to the left side as flags were flying all around him. And there you see from the official illegal procedure against Bassett, and what else can they do wrong to themselves, Rich?
Not much at this point. They're down by 14 points with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left in the ball game. And it's very disheartening, I'll tell you that much, if you're Bassett. You know, you want to turn your season around. As we looked earlier on, last year they finished towards the bottom of the pile. They won 1 out of 9 games. This year they start their season off equally last year's one loss, or at least the win mark. They won 1. And, you know they want to keep it rolling against a team like Norwalk, but it's just not doesn't look like it's going to happen tonight.
Well, you know, Rich, I expected a better turnout from Bassett, from just hearing what the coach is going to do in his game plan, as well as watching the kids throughout the week. And the Bassett squad, if they had followed their original game plan, they have the tools. I think they have the quality, skilled position players in order to go out and perform what they wanted to do. But it seems like they just went away completely from what they were trying to do, and that was to throw underneath running backs as well as wing backs. They decided to go for the home run ball on just about every other play, and it just makes it very difficult to establish any kind of momentum with that kind of offensive game plan.
And I'm trying to decipher what the heck's going on down on the field again. And there's Coach Bell. They again on the field saying, now, you know, I don't know, what are you guys doing out here now? And Coach Bay is chasing the official down now, saying, hey, now look, something's not to my liking. And you got to wonder what the heck's going on down there. I wish, like I said, we can listen in on the officials. They did not signal any call. I don't know why the ball's back up where it is. So it's 4th down.
Time out by the officials, and they seem to be very confused at this point.
And we don't want to join in their confusion. We're going to take a timeout right now with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock here. And Coach Bell and the officials are going to have to sort this one out. We'll be right back with Norwalk leading Bassett 20-6. Welcome back to the telecast, and it's a 4th down, 2 to go for Bassett. There was an illegal procedure call. Norwalk very gutsily declined it, and it looks like it may have worked against them. We'll have to see what the officials mark the ball now. Remember, it was a 4th down and 2. Norwalk declining the penalty, and it looks like Ramos got it. It looks very, very close, and the officials are saying, yes, indeed, he's got it.
Good second effort that time by Ramos as he just goes up over his center once again, following behind. Good blocking, good strength, and clear up all that confusion. It looked like it was an illegal procedure penalty, and if indeed it was, that was the longest unsorting of an illegal procedure I have ever seen.
Man, the last 3 plays in a row have been killers. We must spent about 15 minutes trying to mark the ball off. Decline, You going to take the penalty? What is it? Listening to 2 or 3 people down there. So with 9:43 to go, again, we've mentioned Norwalk leading 20-6. Bassett happy though, but if Bassett gets on the board right now with a long strike, this one's far from over. And I think that they're getting it on once again. It's a little frustrating, but please bear with us.
Let them play ball. That's what the crowd is now beginning to yell. And I see no reason not to. Last week, of course, we had a finely officiated game, at least in the respect that fewer penalties were called.
Very few indeed. First and 10 now for Bassett. To give again to Ephraim, number 33. And Ephraim gaining about 3 or 4 yards, trying that right side of the defensive line of Norwalk.
Well, they're going to a bunch of plays now that I would have thought they would have tried in the first half of the game. And in the first half of the game, we went to some plays that I think they should be trying now. They should be airing it out. Maybe they're still trying to mix it up and confuse Norwalk. I only think they're confusing themselves and possibly the officials.
So second down, a long 6. Vera looking, throwing up the middle, and it's picked off. And this guy picked up by number 51, Ramon Tellez. And Tellez looked menacing when he caught that ball, didn't he?
He said, Coach, I want to play fullback. Tellez, you're going to see here, coming up from his linebacker position. He looks like a linebacker out there. He has that attitude. Look at him. You're going to see Vera drop back, and look at him look the whole time. It's like he never took his eyes off the receiver he was intending to throw the ball to, and that was just an easy pick off the Velez. In fact, the only trouble he might have had was fighting his own man for the ball.
And that's the 3rd interception of the ball game for Edgar Vera, who had 0 last week. So the turnovers have really hurt Bassett. They had 3 last week, but that was in a winning effort over Pioneer High School. Norwalk in business, 1st and 10 from the Bassett 35. And here goes Dae Ho Song. Ho Song, he can run that ball.
Finally brought down by Danny Huzar. And Huzar showed me a little something there as he switched the ball from his right hand when he took the handoff. He was going around his left end, and you see him, he took the ball in his left hand to try to protect it a little bit better. And that's good heads-up ball carrying.
And one thing we mentioned last week, in case you're following with us, Sure High School presented head coach Ken Davis with his 100th career victory Friday night over Santa Fe. Score 27-0. Troncoso looked a little bit confused, and I don't think they had the right plays called on that play, but joining Troncoso in the backfield is Frank Madrigon.
Madrigon that time looked like he was in the huddle with Norwalk. He knew where the play was going. There you see him throwing the quarterback down, maybe even getting some frustrations out, trying to rally his team around him in support. It's 7:30 left to go. They're trailing by 2 touchdowns. It's not over yet, but they do need to get the ball back. The clock's beginning to become their enemy.
That's right. So Troncoso, again, looking confused in that backfield. Now he's setting his line. He takes a look over the defense. Pitching out to Stafford. Stafford, ooh. Little hit put on him. Again by the same guy, Frank Madrigon.
Stafford, Rich, with that unique ability to let his blocks develop in front of him. A lot of backs will just take the ball and run straight up the butt of the man in front of him, but he has that ability to kind of wait and see what's developing, and that time it took Randy Bunt and Alex Moran a little bit of time around the left side, but they got it together. Picked up some decent yardage on the play, bring up a 3rd and 6.
Check that. Actually, it's 4th down and 4.
What do I know? I should be officiating.
4th and 4, Norwalk going for it, unless the marker's wrong, but it is 4th and 4. Troncoso throws it up to Cabrera. Touchdown, Lancers! Yes, indeed. Cabrera with another touchdown, and this one is going to cover about 28 yards. So a 28-yard touchdown reception for Danny Cabrera.
Watch Cabrera again. He's going to, well, you didn't see it in that play, but he was using his body to shield the ball. He was way out in front of the pass once again, and there you see him smile, and why not? He's having an exceptional night. And there's a man down on the field. In fact, it was the man who was guarding him. We never really did get a number on that. If we could, guys, in the trouble, we'd like to see that again if it is indeed possible. That was one fine play.
It looks like it might be Mike Andrade, number 22. And if we can get that once again, and you see Coach Vela going, all right, Danny, way to go. But now we got
22. Here you're going to get to see it again, and watch if you can the receiver use his body to shield the defender away from the ball. The ball was a little bit underthrown. He used his body to keep the defender away from him, and then he sped up just at the last moment, caught the ball. It was almost just like one of those street plays you see, and that was a very nice play. And here it comes, everybody duck.
Boom. Anyways, there's a, I guess you're going to call it the 21-gun salute, and the timeout is called in the field. But let's take a look again as we see Mike Andrade going down now. Looks like they're working on his knee. And it's, I don't, you know, from our vantage point, from where it looked like he fell, it looked like he might have stretched out and possibly fallen on his wrist or his arm. Because if you look, once he fell, he just laid there limply. And maybe we could see that one more time. And let's take a look.
He is holding that leg out
comes down. Let's take a look at that left leg as he comes down. Again, Mike Andrade defending on Cabrera. And I don't see anything there, Andy. It looks like he might have a bruise.
It looks like almost a hyperextension. He kind of pushed off the turf just as the ball was getting into the hands of Cabrera, and it looks like he might have just hyperextended his knee. He's walking off, but definitely having some problems. So we hope that is not going to affect the Bassett squad into the future.
So now John Onofre, who's been getting quite a workout today, came out to kick an extra point. And again, Cordoba will hold. So the offensive line getting set, the officials taking their time getting out of the way. And now they blow the whistle so we can get this extra point taken care of. And the attempt is up, and it looks good from here, and it is good. So with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left in the ballgame, the score, Norwalk 27, Bassett 6. Stay with us. Welcome back with 6:23 left in the ball game. Norwalk just scoring on a touchdown pass, 28 yards from Troncoso to Cabrera, and the Lancers now have a 27-6 advantage. And Andy, I have to say that is a big distance down.
Well, the way Bassett played in the second half, they really haven't done anything that they wanted to, and Norwalk definitely controlling the tempo now. I would think that is also a very safe assumption.
And here's Ramos, and Ramos has done this before, run through the Lancer special teams, but they've never been able to capitalize, and he brings the ball out to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Olympians.
Down by 3 touchdowns, you have 6:17 left to go. I think it just, I think everyone in the house knows what's going to happen now. I think that Vera's going to drop back, try to bring some rain, maybe try to hook up with Mengiatera and get lucky. Here you're going to see the fine run back, of course, of Mike Ramos. Picks it up around his own 8-9 yard line and just follows the picket line straight up the middle. And at least he's trying to do his part there, bringing him up to the 35. It'll take over 1st and 10.
And now the officials are calling time again. And have to wait and see what happens now. Cabrera now in receptions, over 200 yards. And that's got to be some kind of Lancer record. I mean, I know when the Davis brothers were playing football here, Phil and Mike Davis back in 77, 78. Later on, they went to Wyoming and had an outstanding career there. But you know, this has got to be close to a Lancer record, and we're going to have to check on that. Let's take a look now for next week's game here on Channel 12. The number-ranked 2 Carson versus St. Paul, Saturday at 6 o'clock. And those of you that remember last year's ball game over at Swordsman Stadium, St. Paul pulling it out, 9-7 victory over Carson on a 4th period, about an 8-yard touchdown pass to Frank Mazzota Jr., who now is playing at Cerritos College for his dad. But that was an exciting ball game, and this one looks to be every bit as exciting. That's next week, St. Paul versus Carson. Again, we're going to have to check that for you, and we are going to have some information for you on that next week at the St. Paul Carson game. We're going to look into that and see if we can dig something up from Coach Vela to see how close Cabrera's coming to setting the standard for the Lancers in receptions in one game.
Well, I'm sure shellacking them tonight, if nothing else, and Bassett will certainly remember the imprint of number 30 that has run around them, through them, and over them here this evening.
Looks like we have a new quarterback now in the shotgun formation. Nope, Edgar Vera going all the way. Mengiatera almost caught that ball. Great effort on his part, but he got hammered the minute the ball got in his vicinity. So incomplete pass to bring up 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for Bassett. And there he is again, Danny Cabrera, and goodbye. Cabrera, another interception. Last year he had 2 interceptions early on in the season as well. Cabrera returns that one. About 25 yards down to the 10-yard line. Danny Cabrera, number 30, does it again.
And he too well makes the tackle. But I tell you, if you're on the Bassett offensive side, you've got to be hanging your head low now. You are looking at one tough cat in number 30. And of course, we're talking about Danny Cabrera. And he is having one outstanding evening offensively, defensively. As you said, he is all over the field. He is almost doing it by himself. And very exciting ball player to watch. I would like to see this young man later on in the season once he really gets a full head of steam going and see what kind of progress he has made.
So Cabrera coming up with the big play again. He's definitely the MVP of this ball game. He has almost as many yards receiving offensively as he does interception returns today. The give is to Jackson. Jackson going down. And we have a new quarterback in the ball game now for Norwalk. Nahara. Looks like Joe Nahara, the quarterback, 5'11", 160. He's only a sophomore. So already Coach Vela afforded the luxury early in the year to get his backup quarterback some experience, which he definitely will need.
Well, Kronosko showed us quite a showing here this evening. There's no sense keeping him in there now when the game is virtually on ice, maybe having him come up lame or get hurt on the play, and he may lead the squad a long way. Norwalk, as we said before, Rich, looking much improved.
And there's another play. Stopped in the backfield. This time it was David Thomas, the tailback, another sophomore, getting some valuable playing time. Loss of a few yards, but just the same, Norwalk in good shape. They can afford it right now.
You mentioned the comparison between last year's Norwalk squad and this year's Norwalk squad, and what would be your analysis thus far?
Well, this year's Norwalk squad, coming into the season, didn't look to me like they would have as much firepower as they did last year with Steve Lott and Andy Nogel, especially Nogel, a perennial 1,000-yard runner in his career at Norwalk. But this team has definitely had a few surprises. They have a lot of kids that are maturing, a lot of juniors making the grade here. Nahara intended for Molyneux, and just past the outstretched hands of Eddie Molyneux, the tight end for Norwalk. But they seem a lot stronger. Transoso had played a lot of football last year. He played defensively, defensive back, and he was very instrumental, him along with Steve Smith, anchoring that defense in the secondary. But Transoso seems to be a very competent quarterback. He knows what he's doing. I'm very impressed with him. And again, you got to be impressed with Dae-Ho Song. He's only a junior, and he can move. Stafford's coming along well, too, at least in this ball game from what I've seen so far. Norwalk looking like they'll be 2-0 at the end of this one. 4th down and 10. And the give is to Jackson, and Jackson called in the backfield by Edgar Vera, who also plays quarterback for Bassett.
Well, it looks like Vera's venting a little bit of frustration here as he is slammed to the turf by the quarterback for Bassett. Of course, Anderson not too happy about that either. But I really did, Rich, think that Bassett was going to come out here and show us just a little bit more. I thought they had the skill position and the offensive schematics that were going to come out and put some points on the scoreboard. I wasn't so sure about their defense. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a gambling-type defense. Of course, what the coach likes to call his split six, with everybody running around and doing crazy things before the snap of the ball. But I really expected quite a bit more for them. They just haven't shown it to me. It doesn't seem like they stayed to their game plan, and now they call a timeout.
So Bassett, Darrow, check that. We're going to have a new quarterback in there barking the signal. It's Jimmy Cullen, and he's a senior quarterback, and it looks like they're going to give Edgar Vera a little bit of rest, and Cullen is lining up over center. But again, defensively, Norwalk, the Lancers looked a lot stronger than they did last year as well. Cabrera is really coming to his own. He doesn't surprise me, really, defensively. He had 2 interceptions in a game last year, and apparently he's done it again this year. I think he ended up with 3 overall, so he does start fast, but he looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. He looks very much at home on the field, and come on, 200 yards receiving. That's not easy.
He's made it look very easy tonight, like a hot knife going through butter. He is absolutely shredded. The Bassett offense and defense. He is everywhere on the field. And if we were giving a MVP award away, no doubt it would go to Danny Cabrera.
And you also got to credit that defensive line, Brian Shotley, to mention a name. Brian Gibson has played some outstanding football out there on the line. Of course, we can't leave out Freddie Jimenez coming up with a big play to stall a Bassett drive. I mean, the defense, they don't have one star. They got a lot of athletes that do a lot of things well, and that's going to help them out in the long run.
A lot of gang tackling and pursuit, and that's what it's all about. This is a team sport.
Again, the ball given to Ramos, and Ramos is hit there and slowed up, and that's number 35, Jose Gomez, and Gomez putting the stop there for Ramos. Had a little bit of help on the stop there from some of his friends there on the line.
I think Coach Whaley now has to be a little bit disappointed in his showing tonight. He was coming off an exuberant win over Pioneer, 14-13. The kids were really up and excited. The coach had them believing they were winners and they were going to play like winners. They just haven't really seemed to. I mean, look at that ball. It flutters out in the middle of nowhere, and the ball is
That's a reception. They're going to call him. That was a reception.
It's hard to say, but that ball was up there like a butterfly floating around in the wind. And, you know, it's just kind of tough. They never really did seem to get anything going. They never got any momentum. It always seems like they were stalling themselves, or Norwalk was coming up with a big defensive series. And I know that it's got to be a little disheartening now, and it's going to be a rebuilding week, I feel, for the Bassett Olympians, who have to go back and maybe check out some films and see exactly where things went awry. But I think they have the basics for a good squad. They're not going to be champions, but I think they can hold their own and maybe upset some people down the line. But they're just going to need to work on it and revise a few things.
Norwalk looking good to this point. Again, the quarterback, Jimmy Cullen. Cullen, a senior in the shotgun formation. Cullen looking downfield and has Pinellas open. Oh, and he drops the ball. Number 17, that's Kenny Pinellas. He had the ball in his hands, but just could not hang on to it. In the backfield defending, Javier Valenzuela. Defending for the Lancers, and that'll bring up a big fourth down play now. And you know they have to be going for it with 3 minutes to go, but then again, maybe not, because if they don't succeed, Norwalk gets the ball in prime field position.
I don't think he's a Bassett fan, that's for sure. He's jumping around. In fact, even the guys on the field are dancing a little bit here. They've had the continual drumbeat going.
Big play for Bassett. I don't know if they realize it is fourth down. The board shows third down, but the change showing fourth. And let's see what the officials are going to call now. Timeout is called by Bassett. So with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left in this ball game, we have a timeout by Bassett to score. Norwalk 27, Bassett 6. Stay with us. Bringing up a big 4th down and 7 play for Bassett, and this is it, do or die. Anguiatera getting the first down yardage, and how do you do? That looks very easy to me. So, first down by Bassett. That's a gutsy call, and you have a quarterback who hasn't been in there. Jimmy Cullen hasn't been in the whole game, and he gets in on this series and completes a big 4th down.
You got to use as an experience factor. Coach Wardell Whaley was out there. He was talking with the squad right out on the field, right in the heart of the team, and just saying, well, let's see what our kids can do in case we ever do have an injury to, say, like an Edgar Vera. So it looks like he has a comparable backup, at least at the QB position.
So Cullen again directing the offense for Bassett. Cullen looking downfield, lets it fly. Pinellas trying to get there, will not. And again, good defense there, Javier Valenzuela. And a little bit of help there on the defensive side from Jose Gomez.
Once again, the wide receiver out there, Ken Pinellas, and this is his first week at wide receiver. He was primarily used as a free safety with, and they brought him in because they didn't feel they were getting enough production out of that wide receiver spot. And I think he's going to progress nicely also for Bassett. They have some fundamental talent, and Norwalk has definitely demonstrated their ability to bounce back from a semi-disappointing year. So both these two squads, I think, will go on and have decent seasons.
2nd down and 10 play now. Richardson getting the ball out of the backfield. Gomez in pursuit, and Gomez takes him out of bounds. Jose Gomez. 6'1", 155-pound junior making the stop. But not before Richardson gets that first down.
Goes to a 13-yard pickup on that play, and they are getting first downs now. It's taking a little bit too long now. Of course, Norwalk's going to give them the old 10-yard over the middle or whatever. As long as the clock can keep on running, that's exactly what they want them to do, wear themselves down. They have a pretty nice buffer right now, 27-6 here with 2:26 left to go in the fourth period of play.
And this one has been a long one. Cullen again. Looking. Mengiatera was showing wide open, and Cullen says later, I'm going to go for the long ball. Throws it over to Richardson. And Richardson is down at the 45-yard line. And Andy, looks like we have a big injury on the field right there. That would be devastating to Bassett as Sammy Mengiatera is down on the field, and he is hurt.
I didn't say what happened to him on that play. I was going to say that Cullen showed a nice bit of running that time, running to his right, directing traffic, and throws it out over the middle. Here we're going to see it again. Let's see if we can pick up where the injury occurred. Of course, you're looking for number 23. You see he's backing up out of your frame now, and he's right there. You can see him, and his right leg, yes. It looks like, and that's what they're working on. That's exactly what happened. He got rolled over by his own man, and his leg was hyperextended. That looks like it could be a serious injury.
It looks like the ankle was pinned.
I'd like to see that one again. It looks like his own man might have rolled over his leg there, and it looks like it badly twisted or hyperextended his right knee.
You never like to see that. You never like to see that at all.
Maybe we can get another shot of that if our producer, director, Joe Curran can scramble that one up again. And it's a fine shot by our cameraman here. You're going to see Curran dropping around, scrambling, put the ball out there. Now watch your way down at the bottom of your screen, and there it is, just rolled over. It's his own man and another man. Now he's gingerly being assisted off the field.
That's his legs broken,
that's
knee
good.
Snapped in the wrong position. Your knee just does not bend that way. Neither does your ankle. And
tough kid. He's running off now under his own power. That's good to see. He'll be back.
Mengiatera, very tough athlete. He's going to walk it off, but that could have been dangerous, very dangerous indeed. So with 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go, facing a second down, call it 2 yards to go for the first. Second and 2, Jimmy Cullen in at quarterback, replacing Edgar Vera. The fake to Ramos, and Cullen may keep it looking. He has nowhere to go. Finally, he's brought down by number 40, Jeff Garcia.
Cullen scrambling for his life that time. Right-handed quarterback roving to his left down the line. Excellent pursuit by Norwalk. He was looking for Canella Zeke, number 17, and Rob Richardson, number 6, the left wing back on the left side of the sideline. There was just nowhere to go. Excellent defensive coverage that time by Norwalk, and you can't tell that they're 21 points up right now. They are playing still tough-nosed defense.
So a timeout is called by Bassett with 1:46 to go. 27-6 to score. And we don't want to beat a dead horse, but Norwalk's looking good. Looking good indeed. It's going to be an interesting league. This time we'd like to thank a few people who, without their help, this telecast would not come off. And of course, we're talking about guys like Joe Curran, who, I don't know what he does, but he helps out around here once in a while. Actually, he's producer. And Larry Jones, our technical director. George Gianna is our super genius in the truck, wiring everything up very well. Our spotter and statistician, Jesse Rodriguez. Eric Burnett up in the cameras, along with Leo Barajas, John Van Eckert on the field, throwing a few blocks on the sidelines for us. So it's third down.
He's been wheeling a mean camera down there.
No doubt about that. And there he is again, number 40. And they're going to call it dead or no? I think they're going to call it dead right there. And that's number 40 again. We just talked about him, Jeff Garcia, only a junior. And he's finding a way in there.
That looks like big-time wrestling. He grabbed the jersey, threw him up over his head, said, throw him, take this.
Hulk Hogan.
You'll see it again. That's right out of the Saturday afternoon wrestling extravaganza.
Oh, you watch those too, huh?
I love those things. And then you see Rob Richardson. You got to wonder what he's feeling like running backwards 20 yards to jump on a ball to save a fumble. He can't be feeling too good about himself.
But I'd also like to thank, of course, on our broadcast again, Sean Van Eckelt, Laura Westerman Koch, Nick Jankovic, Phil Martin, and of course Mike DeLeon, all bringing this to you. And this is only the second of another, I'd say 6 or 7 ball games we'll bring to you.
Next week we are very keyed up and excited for that one. We're going to be bringing you a humdinger. Make sure you stick around for that one. Of course, St. Paul and the perennial powerhouse, Carson. There you go.
From the city. And there's our man, Mengiatera, back in the ball game, catching that ball out of bounds. Yeah, usually there'll probably be somewhere between 10 and 12,000 people out there next week over at St. Paul.
Now, you've experienced that before. What is it
Anytime.
like with the crowd noise there? Because we saw quite a bit of energy here on the Norwalk sideline.
It'll be nothing like it. It'll be deafening. But luckily for us, we'll be enclosed in a glass booth with no opening here. So the sound kind of stays away, but you got a lot of over-anxious coaches yelling, shouting obscenities among a few other things out in the background.
I love that, though, and I hope you viewers at home do also. We'll get you plenty of that and more.
The big thing about the St. Paul Carson game is it's the city meeting the CIF, and that doesn't happen very often at all. But Carson and St. Paul met one time for the mythical championship, as it were, city versus CIF, and it was a big ball game indeed. A lot of good defensive struggles. A lot of good people have went through that series. And again, just look in the NFL, you'll see a lot of Carson athletes. You look at Bill Bain from St. Paul, played with the Rams, just recently retired. Ed Luther went to St. Paul. Of course, playing with the Chargers, went to the USFL. Now he's Wesley Walker, backing around. Wesley Walker, the great wide receiver from the New York Jets, also from Carson High School. So there'll be a lot of good ones out there. Still, 30 seconds to go. Norwalk has the ball. And more than likely there'll be a flag or no. It's Jackson with the ball. And Jackson carrying a lot of people. Crossing the 30-yard line down to the 33, still fighting for yardage. Linemen are quick for Norwalk. They are off the ball quickly that time. I thought there might have been a flag on that play. 12 seconds to go. Clock is stopped, and once the officials set the ball, the clock will start again. Norwalk doesn't have to run any more plays off. This one may be over.
I think I would bet the home on that one. 27-6, 12 seconds. This baby is all but in the book.
So 12 seconds to go. This will be the last snap from center, unless something freak happens. And that'll do it tonight. The give is to David Thomas, number 34, and you hear the crowd counting it down. And ladies and gentlemen, that gun is the final one for tonight. As the Norwalk Lancers are 2-0 in the young season, and it's been a while since we've seen that. But just to say, Andy, 27-6 to score. Got to be impressed with these Lancers.
I thought it was an exciting ball game. I think both squads came out here trying to establish their territorial right, so to speak. And it looked like the dominant squad out here, and you see it as the final. Norwalk 27, Bassett 6, and they're shooting seagulls up in the sky here over at Excelsior Stadium. It's a sad moment in aviation history.
And that'll do it for us. On behalf of Andy Cordan and Jesse Rodriguez, I'm Richard Estrella, reminding you to join us next week, where Channel 12 will take you out to Santa Fe Springs to St. Paul High School. They'll take on again the Carson Colts. Ought to be a good one, so join us for that. Once again, the final here from Memorial Stadium at Excelsior High School. Norwalk 27, Bassett 6.